When the government starts killing their own people, there's bound to be trouble.
This is the Darfur Genocide. Genocide is the mass, systematic killing of large groups of people. It is the mass murder, rape, and displacement of millions of innocent civilians.
The genocide is occurring in Darfur, which is in West Sudan. Sudan is located in Africa. The Darfur Genocide began in 2003 and it is currently in its 9th year. The Darfur Genocide was invoked by two rebel groups in Sudan, the Sudan Liberation Army and the Justice and Equality Movement.
In response to this, the government sent out the Janjaweed.
The Janjaweed, translated to devils on horseback, are Arab militia sent by the government to detain rebel forces in West Sudan. Even today, this army continues to terrorize West Sudan.
The attacks on the villages usually begin with bombings by the Sudanese Air Force.
After the bombings, the Janjaweed enter and murder whichever villagers are still left. The Janjaweed raid the villages and make prisoners of those still alive. Those who aren't killed by the bombings or the Janjaweed soldiers are forced to flee for refuge.
During this time, the Janjaweed also raped and enslaved women and children. They also tortured men and they murdered all.
Next, the Janjaweed took many valuables from the village, looted the village's resources, burned their food, stole their livestock, and polluted their sources of water. They made it impossible for life to survive again in that village.
There have been over 480,000 deaths since the beginning of this genocide, and over 2.8 million people have been forced into refuge.
4.7 million Darfuris rely on humanitarian care, while another 2.7 million are in internally displaced camps.
The genocide is also affecting neighboring countries, like Chad and Central African Republic. The Darfuris are crossing country borders to escape the violence, and they are populating countries surrounding Sudan.
One of the major reasons that this war has been so difficult to put an end to is because of Sudan's president, Omar Al-Bashir.
Omar has been president of the country since 1993, and he has been re-elected twice since then.
But it was in 2003 when he showed his true colors, funding the genocide. And though he denies any connection to the Janjaweed, reports, as well as his unwillingness to address the genocide, suggest otherwise.
There have been 2 arrest warrants issued for Al-Bashir for the rape, mass killing, and destruction of the villages and people of Darfur, but he is still to be convicted.
Along with Al-Bashir, former Sudanese Minister of State for the Interior Ahmad Haroun and Janjaweed militia leader Ali Kashyap are also wanted.
In resolution, one of the most important factors in ending this genocide is to spread awareness.
We need to educate people about what is going on in Darfur. The terrible, repeated, and systematic attacks and killings of innocent civilians must stop now.
There are many different people left there in Darfur. Please help them.
How will people take action to end this genocide if they don't even know about it?